Arsenal is through to the Carabao semi-finals in there, and they're waiting for the results between versus West Ham versus Spurs, Leicester versus Liverpool, and Chelsea versus the side which goes by the name of Brentford. Welcome to the Rokani Football Podcast, guys. How are you and where are you watching us from? This is the Rokani Football Podcast, and we humbly bring you the match highlights and reactions to the game that has seen Arsenal go through to the semi-final. In the Arsenal came through into this round when they really look in good form, having lost the side which goes by names of Manchester United and Everton consecutively. They had charged themselves up to win against a team which goes by the names of, they won against Leeds and a team which goes by the name Southampton. So the previous two games have been wins for Arsenal, and they've added on this third win, a well-deserved one, having rested lots of players in there. Remember, a team that started a game of Leeds. Ramsdale has not played. Tomiyasu got an injury, and Cedric Soares played in there. Nuno Tavares never played, and Nketiah has been benched. Ben White came through to play alongside Rob Holding and Gabriel Martinez. Gabriel Magalhaes came through at around 10 minutes to the end of the game. Grant Xhaka and Thomas Partey were benched by the manager and were replaced by El Nini and a player who goes by the names of who else played in the midfield, because I saw Odegaard, I saw Emily Smith-Rowe, I saw Balogun, I saw Pepe, and I saw Nketiah leading the line. Remember, Nketiah scored a hat-trick today, something that is good for all Arsenal fans all over the world in there. So almost 8 players have been rested. The players that play the game of Leeds, it's only Odegaard, Cedric Soares. I think only those two have started. The rest never played. And Ben White. 3 players are the ones that started this game. 8 players never started this game, apart from Odegaard, Cedric Soares, and the player who goes by the names of Odegaard in there. So Arsenal started this game in a very good form in there. They scored their first goal. Arsenal scored their first goal in the 17th minute of the game through Nketiah in there, and later Pepe scored a second one. Then Nathan Broadhead, who is on loan from Everton, came out and scored that one goal in there that really went ahead to expose the weakness in the Arsenal defense in there. Then Nketiah came up and scored in the 49th minute and the 58th minute. Then Charlie Patino, a child who is 18 years old from the academy from Conley, came up and really did the needful and scored the 5th goal in there. I've seen Pepe put up 3 assists into this game. Remember, Pepe is one of those players that is very much underrated at Arsenal, and it looks like he has fallen out with the manager who goes by the name of Nketiah Hattrick. As you see him falling out with the likes of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, it means Pepe might be on his way out of this Arsenal side. But being given this opportunity, he never misused it. He really scored a goal and banged in close to 3 assists in there, because he played very well. I really like Pepe, but my problem with him is that he over dribbles the ball. He doesn't play what we call a quick ball in there. He does a lot of touches, and the things that he has done today, that's what Pepe is supposed to be doing. But he has to be more efficient as he has been today, because what annoys the manager is bringing in Pepe, doing those things, and they don't really help the team. This time round, the Pepe that we know has come to the pitch, and he has really delivered his best, and his best has really not costed the team. You get? He has reached in those positions, passed the ball twice through the legs of the left fullback of a team which goes by the name of Sunderland, and he laid that pass very well to Nketiah to bag it at the back of the net, and to Patino to do the same to score the 5th goal in there. So Pepe was really vibrant through that wing in there. But All in all, you just look at the side that Pepe has been facing. You expect him to be doing that, but you don't expect Pepe to do those things to a Premier League side. I think that's why he has lost his position in the pecking order of Nketiah Hattrick at Arsenal, because he is very playful. He's very playful. However much today he has done the best that we expect him to be doing, but he has done it on the lower side. They are playing into the 3rd division of the English ranking football. You get? Because these ones are playing in League 1. They are not in the Championship, because Championship is the 2nd tier. Premier League is the 1st tier, Championship is the 2nd tier, and League 1 is the 3rd tier. So that's where this team of Sunderland is playing. So it shows you that Pepe playing against these sides, he really does, and he does enjoy playing against these sides. That is Pepe for you. He does enjoy playing against these sides, but give him a side like Southampton, give him a side like Leeds, give him a side like Everton. Pepe won't come and do this. That's why you see the manager does not even put him onto the pitch. He's never on the bench, but I rarely notice Pepe coming onto the pitch. Even when Arsenal is leading by 3-0, remember that game of Leeds when Arsenal was leading by close to 3-0, Pepe was not put onto the pitch. The Nketiahs came on, Emily Smith-Rowe came on, and who else came on? But Tavares came onto the pitch, but Pepe never came on. So it shows you that the manager has lost confidence in Pepe, and he no longer wants to play him in his team. He has played very well into this quarter-final to lead Arsenal to the semi-final, and I doubt whether the manager is really going to come up and put him back into the semi-final, because in the semi-final I really feel like Arsenal will either face Liverpool, Chelsea, or Tottenham Hotspur. I think if at all Arsenal is going to face those teams, I think Arteta will go back to his team. In the position of Pepe, he will play Bukayo Saka, and Pepe will go back to the bench. I don't feel like the manager will come and bring him in, because this game is going to be played in February. Pepe would have just returned from the African Cup of Nations, provided they play very well in there against his team, alongside his team, which goes by the Ivory Coast. But I don't really see him getting himself another position at Arsenal in there. So I really feel like Pepe is on his exit door of Arsenal. He is going to be out of Arsenal, and trust me, the manager is not going to really rely on him anymore, because you see, even Kulusevski, that left attacking midfielder who plays off the right and the left side of the midfield from Juventus, he's so much in the news, and I've seen very many Arsenal people, Arsenal YouTubers really doing loads about him and talking a lot about him in there. So I really feel like Pepe is going to be sold. And Arteta's mission of really coming out and phasing out almost every player that he never purchased is going on well at Arsenal. It's successful because all the players he has brought in are playing very well. No player is a flop, and all in all, they're really doing good. Bernard Leno back in goal for Arsenal, and he did very well, but he never kept a clean sheet, and I cannot blame that goal for him. But I really felt like the midfield of El Nini failed to really close down that, because I felt like Odegaard and El Nini were so much open. Their midfield was not all that open. That's why you saw Nketiah Hattrick bring in Nketiah, because he needed some steel into the midfield to see to it that they settle it up and really get their comfortable win, and to stop the threats from a team which goes by Sunderland. Sunderland in the first half, really after scoring that one goal and the game was 2-1, Sunderland threw itself to Arsenal, and Arsenal was defending left, right and center, and Sunderland looked like they were looking for an equalizer. But when they came back into the second half, it looks like their manager told them that please go sit behind and get Arsenal on the break. And when they sat behind, Arsenal did nothing less other than banging in more 2 goals through Nketiah, and it was 4-1, and Sunderland couldn't get back into this game of football. The other person that really excited me was Cedric Soares. Cedric Soares came into play at Arsenal when Tomiyasu got an injury in there, and ever since then the rest has been history. And he's playing very well, by the way, because Tomiyasu is good defensively, but going forward he's not as good as Cedric Soares. Cedric Soares today was responsible for the assist of Pepe that he really banged in his second goal, the second goal of the day for Arsenal in there. So Cedric Soares played very well going forward, and I think he is really going to utilize this time when Tomiyasu is away, and he's going to capitalize onto that right back position in there of Arsenal, and he's going to give a manager of Arsenal very many reasons of benching, all of really rotating him more often, all giving him more playing time, because the manager has given him playing time and has not disappointed. In the game of Leeds, he played very well. In this one game, he has registered an assist. You see him when he really gets the ball, when he's crossing the center. And by the way, modern right backs, they are not judged on how defensively they are. They are judged on how forward going they are. You look at Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he's one of the best defenders, right full-back defenders in there, but crossing the line, crossing the center, he's poor. That's why you see at the team of England, he's in the fourth pecking order, pecking order after Trent Alexander-Arnold, Reece James, and a player who goes by the names of Kylian Trippier, because these players, while going forward, they are far much better than him. So I really feel like Cedric Soares is going to get more playing opportunities at Arsenal after the manager gave him his trust into these games, because he was the only option left. Remember, Hector Bellerin, he's on loan in Real Betis, and they gave him that side to go in and play there. So I really feel like it's high time for Cedric Soares to start getting some game time, all more game time at Arsenal. Not in Carabao Cup games, more in the Premier League games. And sadly enough, Arsenal is not into Europe anymore, but according to how they are playing, next season they're really going to be playing in Europe again. And I really feel like the manager, who goes by the name of Nketiah Hattrick, will be really doing himself a service of really, or a justice of really playing this lad more, because when you don't give these players time, all playing time, when people like Tomiyasu, who really are playing very well for you, when they get injuries, these players that you bring in cannot pick up at the moment, all without further ado. Reason being, they are really overworked in there. So to me, I really feel like Arsenal had the day in itself, and it really went ahead to go ahead and win this game of football in here when they are playing a side which goes by the names of Sunderland. Nuno Tavares, talk about Nuno Tavares. Nuno Tavares is really great. I really like the way he played today. He also registered himself an assist in there going forward, and I think each and every game that Nuno Tavares plays, he just goes ahead to improve. And the moment he really starts to improve on these mistakes that he's making while playing from the back, especially because he loses lots of balls, especially when put on pressure, I think because this pressure is brought about by the presence of a man who goes by names by the presence of a man who goes by the names of Nketiah, because Nketiah is giving him a chance for his money. They are really fighting for that position, and Nuno Tavares, when Nketiah had not yet reported back, it was all good for him. He was playing very, very, very well. That is a man who goes by the names of Nuno Tavares. But when Nketiah reported, pressure accumulated onto this young Portuguese, and he started to make big mistakes. Remember, he made his first big mistake, all howler, on a game of Liverpool when he gifted that ball away to Diego Jota, and Jota rushed and sat down Gabriel Magalhaes, and he really curled the ball at the back of the net. This same against Manchester United, the second goal that United scored, it was Nuno Tavares that lost that ball at the center line, and Rashford was played into by Diego Dalot, and he squared it to Ronaldo, and Ronaldo hit it at the back of the net. Again, in the third consecutive game against the team which goes by the names of Everton, the equalizer that Richarlison scored against Arsenal, that ball was lost by Nuno Tavares when he tried to head that ball back to Thomas Partey, but it was a poor pass, and the ball was passed to Gray, and Gray hit it hard. It hit the post, and it found Richarlison unmarked, and Tavares was near. Could have really solved this equation by not allowing Richarlison to head that ball back into the net, but Tavares left himself standing alone, and Richarlison did the needful and hit the back of the net. So when each and every time he's playing and Nketiah is on the bench, there is a lot of pressure onto this young lad in here, and I think it's affecting his career. But all in all, we just pray to him that he really gets used to playing under pressure. When Nketiah is away, Tavares is lovely. When Nketiah comes back, Tavares is on pressure, and he does childish mistakes in there, because there are mistakes you make when you really feel like everyone can really say that, oh, he had nothing to do. But when you look at Tavares, these mistakes that Tavares is making in there are really childish. He just loses the ball. It's not like he is pressed, but he's just passing the ball to an Arsenal player, and he makes a blind pass. And there are positions in especially that third quarter of that third, because for Arsenal it's like it's first quarter, and for the opponent that Arsenal is playing it's the third quarter. There are positions that you're not supposed to throw that ball. They are not. You don't even mess throwing that ball in there. You rather pass it outside. That goes into a throw in or a corner kick, and your players come back, converge back, and they really defend it. But Tavares today has played very well. That third goal of Nketiah, when he really used his outer foot to pinch into that ball and it went into the back of the net, Nketiah was really world class. I'm coming on Nketiah. I think he's the man of the match. No worries. And I think most of you know it, that Nketiah is the man of the match. No doubt, no worries. Nketiah has really done it today. But Tavares really put in a very beautiful pass. And by the way, he put in very close to 3 or 4 good beautiful crosses. To me, the reason as to why I really feel like Tavares is really going to play ahead of Tierney in the coming time is, one, his height, his physique, and in the Premier League those things work a lot. Those things work a lot, and that's one of the advantage. That's one of the advantage Tavares has over Nketiah. The other advantage is going forward, going forward, Nuno Tavares is a far better than Nketiah. Though Nketiah is also good, but I think Tavares is better, and his confidentiality on the ball when he's passing through the midfield. You see him roving. You see he reaches places that Nketiah doesn't reach while playing. He reaches even the 18 yards arc area of the opponent. You get that? Is Tavares for you. He's really deadly when going forward. By the way he really passes into spaces and makes those runs in there, he's really fantastic. And by the way, his cross is always on point. And the good thing with him is that most of his crosses favor the Arsenal strikers, because Arsenal don't have strikers that are good in the air. They don't have them. They don't have any striker that is good in the air. You get? So these players of Arsenal, their height really does not favor them to be good in the air. So Nuno Tavares really brings those crosses that are relatively equal to their height. You get? And they can really easily meet them in there. So it shows you that Tavares is really doing a good job at Arsenal, and I really like what he's doing at Arsenal. Smash the like button, comment and share. Go into the live chat and tell me what you think. Who is your man of the match? Do you think Arsenal is going to play to win this one too? Because Arteta has bagged in a Community Shield for him. He has an FA Cup for him. Is he going in for this? Because he is left with the following teams who are playing tomorrow. Liverpool are playing Leicester City in the quarter-final. West Ham are playing Tottenham Hotspur, and Brentford are playing Chelsea. To me, I really feel like Chelsea is going to go through. Liverpool is going to go through. Tottenham is going to go through, and I think Arsenal, if at all Arsenal gets a team like Chelsea, I think Chelsea right now is off form, but we really feel like Arsenal can really face any team that is going to go through, because if at all they go well into the January market, Arsenal will be really enjoying itself, because you get in a player like Vlahovic or Isak. That means you've increased on your ability to get in goals. Isak is a center forward who does not really require lots of chances to be created for him, because he creates chances for himself. He shoots so much outside the 18 yards box area, and with the presence of Odegaard is lacking a player to do those through passes. to release players. Like you saw that pass that he did for Pepe today into that, I think it was the fourth goal for Nketiah. You saw those passes that Odegaard plays through in there. So if at all Odegaard gets a player like Vlahovic or Ishak, he will make those runs and those passes will come through from Odegaard, and Ishak is good at that. He's energetic. He has a very good technique. He makes good runs, and he's a prolific striker. He's a striker. Give him such balls, three through balls, he will get you 2 goals. That's Ishak for you. And I think if at all Arsenal gets in Ishak, you'll see more passes like Odegaard gave in to a player who goes by names of Pepe today, very, very more often at Arsenal in there. So I think getting in an Ishak for Arsenal or a Vlahovic, it will help a team which goes by names of Arsenal. Smash the like button, comment and share. Go into the live chat and tell me what you think about Arsenal's win today. Who was your man of the match? I think it's either Pepe or Nketiah. There, the man of the match of Arsenal is going to be in there. And I think most of you will go for Nketiah because he banged in a hat-trick. But Arsenal's shape really looked great. But they allowing in that goal really costs you if at all you're playing on a team that can really press you in those last minutes, because Arsenal conceded its goal in the is it the 30th minute? Yeah, if I'm to remember, it was the 31st minute, and the last 14 minutes of the end of the first half, Arsenal was down. Arsenal was down and Sunderland was all over Arsenal. That means if at all that team really had better quality players, they would have put that defense of Arsenal again to a beating, and they score in more goals, and the first half would have ended 2-2. But thank God the first half ended 2-1. Arsenal came back and capitalized in there. The other player that really impressed me today was Nketiah. Nketiah has really gone ahead to announce himself at Arsenal that you don't play me. You play players like Aubameyang. They don't score in goals. You play players like Lacazette 90 minutes. Yet I'm a variable. At least play Lacazette 70 minutes and get me the 20 minutes to play. Or sometimes let me play 60 and Lacazette comes in, because Nketiah has shown us that when he gets the ball to him, he gets that ball at the back of the net. He has the potential to score those goals in there. And in this casting of centre forwards at Arsenal, I think he should be given a chance. He should be given a chance. He should be given a chance. I think Mikel Arteta was so much pissed off when he brought in Nketiah on a game of Everton. Bukayo Saka released him very well, facing the goal, and he headed that ball onto the bottom post of the goal. And I think that pissed off a manager who goes by names of Mikel Arteta. But Nketiah has come back and made a statement and told Mikel Arteta, don't worry, trust me with your centre forward role, I'll give you the goals that you want. And that has been a book that has been open. It has been open like a book. It was written all over the world today that the problem as to why Nketiah does not score goals at Arsenal, he's not given many chances. And Arsenal is not that team that creates very many chances in there. And Nketiah today has come in and banged in a hat-trick in there for himself. He would have even made it for... I've seen some runs that he did. There is a run that he had made very well, a ball passed to him by Bruno Tavares, though he really had a heavy touch, but he had really pressed it through, and he had gone through the 3 central defenders of Sunderland. I was going to face the keeper and bang it at the back of the net. That is Nketiah in there for you. So to me, I really feel like Nketiah deserves a chance, especially in these games that Arsenal is left with. When you look at what Arsenal is really going to go ahead and play. When you look, Arsenal is playing before the January transfer window, because I don't expect Arsenal to sign a striker in the first week of January. That means Arsenal have the following games: Norwich, Wolverhampton Wanderers on 28th December, Man City on 1st January, and Nottingham Forest on 9th January. And I think before 9th January, after 9th January, I think Arsenal would have brought in a centre forward in there. But in the games of Norwich, a boy who has come out and scored 3 goals against a side which goes by name of Sunderland, why don't you start him? Start him alongside Bukayo Saka and Martinelli, with Grant Xhaka and Thomas Partey. That means he's going to come in and get more confidence. Show him that you've scored these 3 goals, and I'm appreciating you for scoring these 3 goals by awarding you a game against a side which goes by the names of Norwich, because Norwich is an easy side for Arsenal to beat, and that's a sure deal. On Boxing Day, that is a Sunday, Arsenal is going to go ahead and beat Norwich. Don't bring in Lacazette. Let Lacazette come on later. But Nketiah should be given a chance. Thank Nketiah for scoring a hat-trick in this game, because this is not a big game. Then in the game against Wolverhampton Wanderers on 28th, then you can really bring in the Lacazette to start. And in the game of Man City, you can start Lacazette in there because there's a serious game in there. But all in all, it looks like Nketiah is fed up of Arsenal, because he came out and said that he's not renewing his contract at Arsenal. That's what he said. He wants to go away, and very many clubs are looking at him. Newcastle, Everton, I think. Which other team is looking at him? There is another team in the Spanish La Liga that are looking at Nketiah, and the Italian Serie A. And by the way, I really feel like Nketiah is very beneficial to Arsenal. If at all the rotation is made very well at Arsenal, Nketiah will come in and really do that backup surface very well. He does not want to start at Arsenal literally every game, but in these games like you're playing Norwich, get him onto the pitch and he does what he has to do. You get? And I think this is the best time to bring in Nketiah to make him believe that the manager has him in plans, because if at all he's not being featured in the games of Norwich, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Man City and Nottingham Forest, those 4 games, they'll really show Nketiah that he's not part of Arteta's plans, and that will really turn him far away from even thinking of putting pen to the already put contract on paper in there. There is a contract put on table for him, but he has said no to sign it. And I think Nketiah is doing himself a service or a justice, because if he puts pen on paper, you don't know what happens. Because when you look at Arteta, he has gotten Pepe and thrown him under the bus. He has got Aubameyang and thrown him under the bus. He did the same thing to Hector Bellerin. He did the same thing to William Saliba. He did the same thing to Guendouzi. He has done lots of things to players that have fought at Arsenal. Look at Bernard Leno. He has been thrown under the bus. That is Bernard Leno in there for you. So I think Nketiah is very much okay, and I really support him. The only way you're supposed to put pen to paper are these January games. Is he going to be considered? Because they are playing Tottenham Hotspur, Burnley, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Brentford. Yeah, so that's how things are really going to start up for a team which goes by names of Arsenal in there. And they're really going to be a very big break in there, because remember, after 22nd January, they are going for a break, and they will return on 10th February in there. That means those are 9 days, 20 days the Premier League will have paused in there. And I think that will be a very good start for Nketiah to see whether he is the man that Mikel Arteta is planning to really lead the line for Arsenal or not. The other player that didn't impress me very well was Emily Smith-Rowe. He really was not all that threatening to this side of Sunderland, and I expected him to really come up and make a very big statement into this game of Sunderland. That's what I expected him to come and do. Nothing else I expect for Emily Smith-Rowe. I expect him to score goals, because nowadays modern midfielders, however many assists you create, you are valued or rated according to the number of goals you score. And this season, he's the top scorer for Arsenal in the Premier League. He's having 6 goals in there. And when you look at Emily Smith-Rowe, in his entire season, the last time I checked, he had very many goals onto his name. He had 6 goals in the Premier League. Yeah, he had 6 in the Premier League. He had 7 in the Premier League, and he has 1 goal in the EFL Cup. So he has 8. He has played 16 Premier League games and has scored 8 goals. So that means every 2 games, he is worth a goal. That is the lad who goes by the names of Emily Smith-Rowe. But he really feel like he has to lift up himself a lot in there. Ben White played alongside Rob Holding. The defense was not all that tested a lot, but the only time it was tested, it was a goal. It was a goal. So it shows you that Ben White can best partner with Gabriel Magalhaes. I look at Rob Holding and Ben White. They are more or less the same players. They're more or less the same players. So I really feel like they cannot play together, and that was evidenced in the opening game of a team which goes by names of Arsenal when it was beaten by Brentford by 2-0 in there, when Ben White was partnered by Pablo Mari, all with, was it Rob Holding? Yeah, Rob Holding with Ben White, and you saw how the likes of Tony destroyed Arsenal to the bones. They teared them apart, and oh my, it wasn't that Arsenal that you thought about in here onto Rokani Football Podcast. So guys, that was the match reaction that we had for you. The ratings: Bernard Leno 6 out of 10. He had nothing to do a lot. Cedric Soares a 7 out of 10. I really played very well. Nuno Tavares, I give him an 8 out of 10. Ben White and Rob Holding, I give them a 5 out of 10. Odegaard 6, an average 6. El Nini a 5. He was not so much onto the pitch. His impact was not seen at all, according to me. When you go to Pepe, I'm giving him an 8 out of 10. I'm giving Emily Smith-Rowe an average 6. He registered a very good shot in the 20th minute of the first half. Balogun, an average 6 in there. Eddie Nketiah, I'm giving him a 10 out of 10. I don't know what rating you give for Nketiah, but for me, I'm giving Nketiah a 10 out of 10. He did it all. Banging in 3 goals for Arsenal. He never missed a C-tag. He only looked like he was hungry, wanting to score more goals. However much he had scored 3, he looked like he was hungry to get in more and more and more. Portino, the new lad who came on, the 18-year player for Arsenal, I'm giving him like a 7 out of 10. He's scoring on his debut for Arsenal. We saw him celebrate with the likes of Martinelli, who was brought in later. Gabriel Magalhaes was brought in later, and that's what I had for you in here. But how it went on, Arsenal first scored into the 17th minute of the game, and guess what happened next? Pepe gave Arsenal a lead into the 27th minute to make it 2-0. Nathan Broadhead, who is on loan from Everton playing at Sunderland, came on and scored in the 31st minute. Second half kicked on. Nketiah scored in the 49th minute, and he sealed his hat-trick in the 58th minute. All one assist from Pepe and the other from Nuno Tavares. And Charlie Patino in the 90+1 minute came up and scored the 5th goal for Arsenal to make it 5-1, and Arsenal have gone ahead to win this one by 5-1. Thank you guys for watching in. I really want to see you guys go into your comment section and tell me, who do you think your man of the match was? My man of the match is Nketiah, but I feel like Nketiah was fighting for this man of the match slot very much with a man who goes by names of Pepe, Nicola Pepe in there. I think they have a very big fight in there because looks like Pepe was on fire tonight, scoring a goal with 2 assists in there on his name. I really feel like he deserves it all also, but I think Nketiah banging in a hat-trick really gives me a chance to give him or to name him my man of the match here onto the Rokani Football Podcast. So those are really going to watch this video later. Go into the comment section and tell me who your man of the match was, and you think Arsenal is really going to go ahead and win this Carabao Cup. Remember, teams left are Leicester, Liverpool, West Ham, Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur and Brentford. Liverpool is playing Leicester City tomorrow. The same applies to Tottenham playing West Ham, and a team which goes by the names of Brentford is hosting Chelsea. That is another London derby. There are 2 London derbies into this quarterfinal of the Carabao Cup. Tottenham Hotspur hosting West Ham, that is a London derby, and Brentford hosting Chelsea is another London derby. So do you think Arsenal can really go past through these teams in there? I really feel like you don't know what's going to happen in January. If Arsenal really brings in a centre forward and maybe another midfielder in there, you never know. Arsenal might strengthen itself and put themselves in a position to compete for the final of the Carabao Cup, and maybe Arteta will be granted a chance to come in through and add it to the only 2 trophies that he has in his cupboard for Arsenal. I'm Rokani David, aka RD. Smash the like button, comment and share, and if at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to our channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Me sign out for now. See you later, mates.